Good evening, Northern Colorado. This is Whiskey Zero, Delta Delta Zulu. My name is Dave, and I am in Greeley. I'll be net control for this evening's Northern Colorado Amateur Radio Club net. The purpose of this net is to provide a forum for announcements of amateur radio-related events, a meeting time on air to encourage social interaction between club members, and to provide a point of contact for club board members. This net may be interrupted at any time for emergency or priority traffic. If you need to use this system for an emergency during the net, please say break and give your call sign. We will acknowledge you and suspend the net until you advise you are clear. Is there any emergency or priority traffic at this time? All licensed amateur radio operators with 70 centimeter privileges are encouraged to check into this net. Club membership is encouraged but not required for participation. This net will begin as a directed net and shift into an open net. There will be opportunity for stations with equipment to sell to announce their items. Check-ins are requested for the purpose of counting participation with no checkout required. Once all stations have checked in, Net Control will ask the club executive board members if they have any announcements, and then we'll call for announcements from other operators. Please be courteous once the formal part of the net is over and allow a break for other stations to be a part of the conversation. When checking into the net, please give your call sign slowly using the ITU phonetic alphabet. We have had 18 early check-ins. I will start by taking check-ins from club board members. Club board members who have not already checked in, please call.
Good evening, Dave. This is November 0, Echo Mike Papa. Greg, Fort Collins, member at large, with Kilo 0 Delta Bravo Echo, Debbie.
Good evening, Greg. Any other board members who'd like to check in, please call. I will now take check-ins from club members. Club members Alpha through Zulu, please call.
Good evening, Dave. This is Whiskey 0 Alpha Sierra Papa, Cherry and Berthoud.
Good evening, Dave. Kilo 8 Golf Echo Echo, Jerry and Fort Collins.
Evening, Dave. KG6 UDT at Ed and Berthoud.
Alpha India 7 Papa Mike AI 7 PM along with N0 DQV Brandon, and we're on the Echolink in Laramie.
Try this again. Kilo 8 Golf Echo Echo, Jerry, Fort Collins.
Whiskey 0 Delta Alpha Sierra, Dave in Fort Collins.
The net would like to recognize the K0DBE, W0ASP, Terry, K8GEE, Jerry, KG6UDT, Ed, AE7PM, Phil, N0PQV, Brandon, and W0DAS. Any other check-ins from members, Alpha through Zulu, please call.
Kilo Delta 0 Whiskey Bravo Charlie.
November 7 Charlie Tango Mike, Mark Early Park in Loveland.
And AI 7 7 p.m. with corrections.
I got it fixed, Phil. AI 7 p.m.
Alrighty, and Brandon was November 0 Delta Quebec Victor. Yeah, 7 p.m.
And Delta Quebec Victor. Thank you for that. And good evening to Pete, KD0WBC, and W2MIC, and Mark under you. I had a double other station. Please come again.
November 7, Charlie Tango Mike, Mark, Longmont.
And November 7, Charlie Tango Mike, Mark. Any other club members, Alpha through Zulu, please call.
Good evening. This is Whiskey Alpha 5, Victor Romeo Lima, Willis, Fort Collins.
And good evening, WA5VRL Willis. Any members, non-members, any stations, Alpha through Zulu, please call. Hearing none, we'll now move on to net business. Joe, what do you have for us tonight?
I got a couple things for all you Aries members. We have the 22nd coming up this Saturday. We're going to be having our show start at 9 o'clock. It's at the Fort Collins Police Department. I think the address is on the website. Kind of like everybody. And also we have our tech class going on this weekend and next weekend. We also have our Tech Fest. We're going to start moving along with this thing. We have all kinds of neat things happening. There'll be more out on this thing. Right now it's at the event hall, I believe. It's room 167 for my, thank you very much for that, Dave. That'll start at 9 o'clock. We'll let people in about 8 o'clock. It's $10 fee. Do not have to be a member to attend, but it's an all-day type thing. So, if there's no other questions, back to net.
Thanks for that, Joe. And the address for the police services building is 2221 South Timberline Road in Fort Collins. Meeting starts at 9 a.m. Let's move on to Greg. What do you have for tonight's net?
No traffic, Dave, in 0 EMP.
Very good. Is there any other stations with traffic for the net? Please call. Are there any questions for the board or any other stations with requests for the net at this time? We've now reached the gear swap portion of the net. Are there any stations with equipment to sell or stations looking for a piece of equipment? Please call. This is Whiskey Zero, Delta Delta Zulu for the Northern Colorado Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net. Are there any late check-ins, comments, questions, or other discussion before we close for this evening?
K0 LAO.
Go ahead, Luann.
Well, for the folks that weren't on for the early check-in, the Tech Fest, the room is 106, but it's at the Morgan Library at CSU, which is not a very easy building to get to. So put it in your GPS.
Yes, thank you for that. Clarification always helps on that. Is there any other questions, comments, or other discussion before we close the net this evening? This concludes the Northern Colorado Amateur Radio Club Net. Net Control would like to thank each station for their participation. This net will occur again next Wednesday at the same time on this repeater. The repeater is now open for general use. Whiskey Zero, Delta Delta Zulu. This presentation was brought to you by the Northern Colorado Amateur Radio Club. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.